Hi, my name is Adam Starker. I've been a business analyst now for over 10 years, formerly a project manager and a program manager. This is the first in a series of tutorials to give introduction as to what is business analysis and what a business analyst does, and the tools and frameworks that are applied to the job to achieve the best results for a client. What is business analysis? Well, business analysis is the discipline of identifying business needs and determining solutions to business problems. Solutions often include a systems development component, but may also consist of process improvement, organizational change, or strategic planning and policy development. The person who carries out this task is called the business analyst, or BA for short. Let's talk a little bit about the knowledge areas, and this being the framework of educational and technical tools that the traditional business analyst can dip into that toolbox to aid on a project. Each business analysis area of knowledge has associated activities and tasks. A business analyst must have the knowledge necessary to be effective in their execution. Business analysis can be broken down into 6 major areas of knowledge. If we look at this chart, we can see that the BA process overall follows through like any other project, where you have a requirement, a process, and a delivered value to an organization. So at the bottom left of the chart, we start off with the current state of an organization, as is. And from that, the organization can determine a need, i.e. something of improvement, a threat, something that has to be addressed, or an opportunity for further development, be it training, systems, which is the usual IT systems, or policy development. The first stop is enterprise analysis. Now, enterprise analysis concerns the environment of the organization at large. It includes activities such as creating the business architecture, conducting an initial risk assessment, identifying opportunities, and determining the benefits of the particular initiative. A business analyst needs to have a thorough understanding of the business and know how to analyze and solve the problems from the as-is commencement. Now we move into the main passage of where the real work is involved. Most of the work required is focused around requirements elicitation and analysis, and from that analysis determine what the solution will be delivered for the particular requirements. You'll see above and below the middle section, there's 2 frameworks. First of all, I want to talk about business analysis, planning, and monitoring. From enterprise analysis, we can then determine what is the approach we're going to take to the project. That was derived in the business analysis, planning, and monitoring section. And that will be, once you know who your stakeholders are, you determine the requirements strategy in terms of harnessing information from users and stakeholders, and what will be involved in terms of resources and planning and scheduling. And also you're going to be focusing on requirements management and communication, which is decided on the modes, techniques, models for communication, the frequency, how information is communicated, either in written and or visual form, and a list of the main people, stakeholders who will be included within that process. Requirements elicitation involves helping stakeholders to articulate needs and fostering understanding among everybody involved in the project, i.e. all stakeholders. Techniques for requirements elicitation can include group meetings, one-on-one interviews, role-playing, brainstorming, and use cases. Don't worry about any of the terminology you don't understand. I'll be going into each knowledge area in more detail later on. A business analyst must comprehend the difference between different types of requirements, know about approaches or techniques for eliciting the requirements, understand conflict resolution, and sense when consensus can be reached among stakeholders for deciding upon a suitable requirement. A business analyst must also be able to have a key and canny skill for seeing the invisible, i.e. recognizing that when the customer actually knows what the requirements are and know what they are beyond that for recommendation. A real world perspective. Moving on to requirements analysis and documentation, this involves knowing methods, tools, and techniques for structuring the data collected into a cohesive package. The objective is to define acceptable solutions to business problems and to document them in an understandable format and fashion. The documentation in question must include the reasoning that was used to arrive at decisions, supporting not only what decisions were made, but why those decisions were made. The business analyst must be able to identify gaps in the collected information, understand how to assess the feasibility of the requirements, and translate requirements into a written or graphical form. Lastly, we move on to solution assessment and validation. This area involves determining whether proposed solutions are usable and demonstrating that solution meets the business needs. That is, the solution must meet the requirements of what is at hand. Activities include verifying solutions are correct, assessing potential problems in implementation, supporting the quality assurance process, and managing the execution of solutions. A business analyst must understand the impact of actions, envision alternate solutions, anticipate change, and know how to substantiate proposed solutions. From here, you can see this will then take us up to the solution and added value, i.e. the future state. So we can see where we start off from, the as is, how we're going to get to where we want to be to end up at the future state being the to be area. And we will go over each knowledge area in depth to see how that is executed to get from the before to after state in the next tutorials. Thank you.